Hey y'all, good Thursday afternoon, lunchtime, dinner time. I'm in the kitchen. I almost wasn't going to video this, but I thought why not, since I decided to add the Brussels sprouts, since I do the sausage a lot. So what I'm doing for this afternoon is some peppers, onions, and sausage. I'm going to put potatoes in there. So I've got one package of, well, let's go ahead and get these Brussels sprouts going. Then we'll come back to the sausage because it takes a little bit of time for the Brussels sprouts. Okay, we're going to throw these Brussels sprouts in the oven. First, what you do is you clean them up. You cut those little ends off of them. Now, you know these little ends that look like this, cut them right off of there. Wash them up real good. Dry them off as much as you can. And then we're going to put about a couple tablespoons of olive oil on them. And just make sure the olive oil is all over them, because what we're going to do is we're going to put our seasoning on it, and we're going to run it through the oven for a little bit. I'm going to swash them around a little bit. Give me about a teaspoon of lemon pepper seasoning on there. This kind of seasoning always, to me, tastes good on roasted cauliflower. I'm sorry, Brussels sprouts. I call these my baby cabbage. And we're going to roast them in the oven until they get nice and crispy. It's going to take about 35, 40 minutes. So we're going to sprinkle about a half a teaspoon of onion powder on there. Another half of, garlic powder on them. Okay. Gotta get everything nice and seasoned. No salt so far has gone on there. And this is my new favorite seasoning, cilantro lime. Sprinkle a little bit of that on there. This has a little bit of salt, not a whole lot. It has some little crunchy things in there that I just absolutely love. I haven't figured out yet what they put in there to make it be crunchy, but a half a teaspoon of that. And we're going to fire these up a little bit, because I'm going to put let me get my other seasoning while I'm over here. Okay. I'm going to put just a few sprinkles of red peppers. A little bit of pepper goes a long way. This is my everything but the kitchen sink seasoning. About a fourth of a teaspoon of that on there. Because it does not take a lot of seasoning. And the less salt you have to put on, the better off that you are. So what I'm going to do is get my tin baking pan ready over here. I start recycling these pans, because when I cook something that they ain't all stuck and everything's all ooey-gooey, I go ahead and wash them out and use them again. I'm sort of trying to be a little bit better, a little bit more thrifty with stuff like that, because usually I just throw those things right in the trash and keep it moving, y'all. Okay, so now I've got everything, all the seasonings on there, and I'm mixing them around to make sure everything is on there. These look so good. Some of my oil has drifted off to the bottom. So what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to go ahead and pour my baby cabbage. So you can get a baking dish or this dish right here. Either one will do fine. Can y'all see that? Yeah, there we go. Swizzle that around. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of mine, a little bit that's water. Water comes off of those after you've had to wash them. I didn't dry them up too well. But anyway, we just want to make sure that oil is in there. Now, this is going to go into a 450 degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. So let's get it going. Okay. Let me rinse my hands off over here, y'all. And now, we're going to get to these sausage, onions, and peppers. Let's see. That cleaned off there. That out of the way. We're going to move our camera in. There it goes. Right there. I've already got some 5 Italian sausage in there. Half of a large onion and half of a large green pepper. already cut up and they're already cooking. It takes about 15-20 minutes to cook this part. Then I went ahead and cut some of those little creamy potatoes in half. I put those in the microwave so that they can just cook, because I need to put a little bit of seasoning on them. So, okay, I had some seasoning. You know, I'm always loving a good seasoning. Now, last night, what did I cook last night? Oh, I know what I did. I cooked some chicken in my Ninja foodie. And so, and it was in fact, I'm going to go ahead and upload it here shortly. It was a grape, sweet sour grape. But before I put the grape on there, the juices from the chicken had drooled in the bottom of that pan. And I'm here to tell you that between all that seasoning that I put on there, it yielded some great. That's why I don't throw away my seasoning. This is what was in the bottom of that pan, and that's what I'm putting on these sausage and potato mixture right now. So I don't have to put in extra salt or anything on it. I love not having to add salt. So, you know, the sausage already have salt content, but this little extra here is going to do just what I need to do. And I'm not going to cover it right now because I want it to just sort of saute without giving out a whole bunch of juice. And about 10 minutes before I know everything is done, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on them. So like I said, it takes about a good, we'll say 25 minutes since I got everything in there. So this right here is a one-dish meal within itself. So you got your sausage in there, you got potatoes, you got onions, and you got green peppers. So I decided I needed another veggie, so that's why I went ahead and did the Brussels sprouts. So now, we're going to let those Brussels sprouts are going to cook for, 40 minutes. And when that gets done, I'm not going to let this cook all that time. This will be done another 10 minutes. Look, doesn't that look good, y'all? It smells. Y'all just won't believe the fragrance coming off of there. So, while that is still cooking, I'm going to go ahead and do my little cleanup because my Brussels sprouts have a time to cook. So, all together, you could have this entire meal done in 35 to 40 minutes, depending on if those Brussels sprouts cook in the 35-40 minutes, and I think they will. All of this can be on your table in under an hour. Great for dinner or for lunch. We're going to have them. It's going to be a lunch dinner thing because it's almost 3 o'clock now, and if we start eating this time of day, there'll be enough for us to eat right on through, and this will be the meal of the day for us. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and let this continue to cook very, very slow. And like I say, toward the end, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it and let that steam go through it. But I don't want a lot of juice in the bottom of the pan. I want all of that flavor to be within those sausage and inside those potatoes. So, y'all hang in. If you got some sausage in the refrigerator or some ground beef, whatever you got in there, go ahead and throw some seasoning on it, grab you some potatoes or a bag of rice or something and whip it up so we can sit down and have lunch or dinner together. So hang on and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the lid on, y'all, so we're just going to let it cook for a little bit. Y'all, I'm back. The sausage, potatoes, peppers, and onions, beautiful, smell good, taste good. Y'all know I've tested them. They are done. And now I'm going to get my Brussels sprouts out of the pan. I'm going to take them out and put them into another container because, under that high heat, everything gets a little crisp and tart, and I wanted my Brussels sprouts as crisp as I could get them on the outside. So I'm just putting them in this little old container. This is a container that you can cover, so if anything is left over, it's already in a container. So we're done with that, and that is what our Brussels sprouts look like. This is 1 pound of Brussels sprouts. So like I say, just a half teaspoon each of all of my seasonings. A couple tablespoons of oil. Just make sure that oil is spread around on them really, really good. Pop them in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, depending on how your oven cooks. They are wonderful. I've got a garlic powder, onion powder, lemon pepper seasoning, a little bit of red pepper, and some a little bit of like my half teaspoon of what do you call it? Not seasonal. I want to say, what was I saying? Lord, I haven't used seasonal in so long. Complete seasoning, y'all. Help me out here. So anyway, this meal is ready. It is quick. It is easy. And if you don't want to put, like I say, the only salt content on here was that little bit of lemon pepper seasoning that I sprinkled on there, and then a little bit of complete seasoning. Other than that, or you could leave any salt content out if you can't have salt at all. Strictly up to what your doctor has instructed you to do. So this is a nice dinner meal, lunch meal, however. So you got your veggies, you got your starch, and you got your protein, all right there in under 1 hour, y'all, and it is yum yum goody. So if you want to fix this meal, it's real simple and easy. You don't have to be over that stove for all day long or 3 or 4 hours. Like I say, prep time is probably 15 minutes prep time for both dishes, and to overall cook this 35 to 40 minutes, and everything is done and ready for the table. So listen, guys, thank y'all for dropping by. Thank y'all for continuing to pray for and with me. Thank you for standing in the gap, praying without ceasing. And y'all, please, now as we get closer to time to vote, please pay attention. Do what you need to do in terms of just being informed, and just pay attention to everything that's going around you these days. And also, please stay safe, abide by the rules, the mask, social distancing. Just be in particular about where where you are, what you're doing. We always have things that pop up in life sometimes that just get us going. I'll share just one little short thing, and then I'm going to get off of here. I was at the doctor's the other day, and in line, how you have to wait in line to get your temperature taken before you can go into the facility, which I love that. You don't just go in there and sit. And I could overhear a gentleman asking, I'm sorry, not asking, but answering the questions about, have you been exposed, and all those questions. And I'm going to tell you, he was answering yes to some of those questions. So I could hear him. So we were at least, because I always stand as far back as, I'll stand 2 of those little mark off things, but I could still hear him because we were just, it was quiet, and I got good hearing. So I could hear him answering, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. So he went on. But the strange thing, when the nurse finished talking to him, he didn't go into the facility like what you're supposed to do when you're okay. He went across the parking lot as if to go back, I guess, to his car, because his yes question was, have you had any aches and pain? He said, yeah, in my shoulder. Have you been exposed? Yeah, my cousin or somebody, he was exposed to his cousin or whatever. So he wanted about his business. So now here come me, and then there was another man in the line. I saw him do the same thing that I did. He backed up when he was hearing these yes answers. So I was next. So I walk up to a point, and I see the nurse reach for the thing, that they wave across your forehead. And at the time, I couldn't remember if they touch your forehead with it or wave it or whatever. So she picks it up as to check and I told her, no ma'am, I said, could you please sanitize that before you use it with me? And the other nurse said, yeah, go ahead and do it, blah, blah, whatever. And so when she came, and I said, by the way, shouldn't you clean that every time somebody uses it? And actually, they don't touch your forehead with it. But my thing is, honey, listen, for my peace of mind, and at that point, I didn't know what the process was. So, of course, after my appointment, I called back to the clinic to ask them, what was the process, what was the procedure, and the director proceeded to tell me that there was no mandate that they actually wipe that wand off after each person, because there was no scientific evidence, proof, what have you, research that was any danger in anybody. I said, well, you know what? I am predisposed, and I explained to her my situation. Where I said, and I've been coming here for in excess of 15 years, and I want to continue to come. I said, but now anytime I come here, and any instruments is used on me, if I saw another person using them, uh, I was going to question it. I said, so that's why I did. I said, I'm not shooting a messenger. There are just certain things that I'm going to look out for myself in terms of my health, because we don't know, even the medical people that are in charge, they don't know everything about this illness. So anything that I feel uncomfortable with, I feel like I need to speak to it, and I did, and I know how to talk. So nobody was offended. It was just that I had to relieve myself to know, and I let them know that anytime I come there, I'm going to ask them to clean that thing off before they, even though it's not touching me, it's still waved at me. And just like I say, that gentleman said yes to some questions. So now, what about that? And I told her, I said, that man said yes to 2 questions. I said, so I was uncomfortable with that. I said, so there was no way that I was going to step up there and let them wave it by my head without me saying what I said. I said, so anywho, just sort of be a self advocate. You don't have to be all crazy and outrageous. Just advocate for yourself when it comes to your own health. So anyway, thank y'all for dropping by. Thank y'all for the love that you send to me, the questions that you ask, the comments that you give, and certainly the prayers that y'all send out on my behalf. So listen, guys, it's the middle of the day. I gotta move on to some other things. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is get ready to get me a plate of this good old food, and then I got a few other chores to do. So listen, thank y'all again for tuning in. Hope you're having a God bless Thursday and are getting ready for some good old lunch or dinner, whichever time of day it is for you. So, and for any of you all that are in the way of that storm, we're praying for you as we do for all of our people in these United States, around the world, or wherever. So we're praying that the storm will bypass you and that no harm will come to you. California, we're still praying for those of you who still experiencing those fire situations, and those who experienced it and had damage throughout this country. Anything inclement, any loss of life due to this pandemic, we still keep you lifted up in prayer so that you will feel the blessings of the Lord. So love you guys. Keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. Toodaloo.